heart of Houston. It's fun. It's engaging. It's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards. Come back to me.
Hey, besties. Welcome to another episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards. Now, stop it. You stop it. I'm talking to you. Stop doubting yourself, okay? It's time to get out of a rut, and we've got the perfect gal here in the studio to give us the kick in the butt that we need. Get things turned around today. But first, let me tell you about this one. Speaking of getting turned around, I took my work bestie Jenn out to play pickleball, right? And she was surprisingly good at it. On the other hand, I was all over the place. But they're calling pickleball the fastest growing sport in the world. So we wanted to show you how it's done, or in my case, show you how it's not done, okay? I'm the first to admit I am not really sporty, but our first guest is. Anne-Marie Anderson is a 3-time Emmy Award-winning broadcaster. She's one of the most experienced female play-by-play announcers in the country. She created her own path at ESPN by making her own bold moves. She is the author of the new book, Cultivating Audacity, Dismantle Doubt, and Let Yourself Win. It's being called a blueprint for making bold choices to get the life that you want. Thank you so much for joining us on Chat with Chelsea.
I'm happy to be here, your temporary bestie.
Yes. No, once you're in the bestie book, it's forever.
All right.
Okay.
New besties.
Yes. So tell us about the bold moves that you made, because you're not just like putting in the book saying you should do this. You actually lived this.
Right. I lived this because I wasn't born audacious. Like, we have this idea, Chelsea, that audacity is somehow bad, like the who does she think she is kind of thing. But the actual definition is the willingness to take bold risks.
Okay.
That doesn't sound bad to me.
It doesn't. It sounds kind of necessary.
Yeah.
You know, if you want the life that you want, right?
Exactly.
You want to get it.
And you hit it there. It's the life. It's not just the job. And that's the thing that I did. ESPN's a fantastic place to work, and I have loved my time working with them both as an employee and as an independent contractor. But I didn't want it to be my entire life. So some of those bold risks that I took were about creating an entire life that I enjoyed, not just a job.
Was it something that made you take a step back and say, you know what? This is what I want, and I need to figure out how to get there?
Yes. Over and over and over again, because you're never finished with Audacity. So like the first one while I was at ESPN was, I was in my 20s, working in Connecticut at headquarters, shoveling snow, working 6 at night to 3 in the morning, 6 days a week, Mondays off.
News people, we know that life.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
We do that. And I loved the job, but I hated the rest of it. I didn't like to shovel snow. I had no social life. So I asked them, hey, can I be Los Angeles bureau producer? And they said, well, we actually already have a Los Angeles bureau producer. And I was like, I know. That's what makes this so awkward, kind of thing. And so I gave my notice, and they called me impatient. I said, I get it, but I really wanted to create this life. And I ended up 3 weeks later driving cross country to California. And when I arrived there, this was like an unintended outcome. ESPN gave me some work, freelance. Within a year, I had doubled my salary and was back with ESPN full time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Did you have any people in your life saying, oh, like the audacity? Like, did you have naysayers?
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't we all? Especially going in front of the camera. I was saying it to myself. My own inner critic was like, people are going to think you're vain and you're not as good as these other people on air. And well, of course I wasn't, because I wasn't on air. So whether it comes from external or internal, we've all got naysayers.
Yeah, okay. We're going to get more into that. But I want to talk about the urgency fallacy that you have in the book. Explain that part, because I guess it could be confusing for somebody who's like, oh, well, I feel like my life is all about urgency. Like I'm doing the things that are urgent right now. But you say that's a fallacy.
Well, we've been sold this bill of goods that just because it's urgent means it's important. And that's not necessarily true. As you said, Chelsea, our entire lives are urgent. Answer the text, reply to the email, sign the permission slip for your kids, whatever it is, everything is always urgent, which means we never really get to what's important or creating something new because we're just trying to keep up with urgent all the time. So I say when you want to do something in your life outside of what you're already doing, you need to create intentional space for what's important. And here's how you know. Urgent is reactive. You're reacting to somebody else's request.
Yes.
Okay? Things that are important don't necessarily have a deadline, but they move you closer to your values, visions, and goals and who you want to be. And so for me, when I started writing the book, I was like, okay, I'm going to get up at 4:30 every day. I'm going to write for an hour. It's going to be great. Oh my gosh. I hated it. First of all, I'm not super creative at 4:30 in the morning, so it's not the best time to write a book.
Still got sleep in your eyes.
Yeah, plus I'm still a working broadcaster, so I was dead by the time I got to my game. So for me, I got that hour in 15-minute chunks throughout the day. I wrote this book 15 minutes at a time, half the time on the bathroom floor.
Wow.
Or on planes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I have 3 kids, so you got to lock the bathroom door and be in there. That's the only place you can be alone.
Yes.
So I'd be in there and I'd be like, Mom, I'm hungry. I'd be like, same, buddy, I'll be out in 15. You know, but I had to create that space, otherwise it would get chewed up. And that's the fallacy that we have, is that we will do what's important when I have more time, money, all the qualifications.
And it doesn't happen.
Never.
Most of the time it just doesn't. You have
Yeah.
to carve out that time. And I love that you did that.
Yeah.
Love that you brought this. So we're going to get more into it. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You guys will be right back after this. We're back with Anne-Marie Anderson, author of Cultivating Audacity. Now, you say there are certain barriers to us becoming audacious.
Yeah, we all have them. In researching this, I found it always comes down to one of 4 things, sometimes all 4 things. Fear, time, money, or inner critic.
Okay.
And what I tried to do in Cultivating Audacity was help you figure out ways to break down each barrier so you can discover what's been in your way and then what to do about it.
And now we talked about the time, because
Yes.
that is my barrier.
Yeah.
I will say it's so hard to carve out that time, but I love just 15 minutes. Like, you can actually get to those things that are important and not just urgent.
Right.
Love that. Okay, so let's talk about the fear.
Yeah.
Oof.
That one's my barrier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a tough one for people to overcome.
For sure, whether it's fear of failure, embarrassment, judgment, being exposed, whatever it is. And you know, I was at ESPN 10 full years before I said I wanted to be on air, because I was afraid of what other people would think, would I be good enough, all of this. And so I was going to be a sideline reporter on a little regional football game. I was all set to do that. And then somebody got sick and something happened, and I ended up getting put on ESPN2 opening weekend of college football in 70 million homes for my first time ever.
Oh my God.
On live television. I was freaking out. I don't think ESPN realized, because I had produced, you know, Olympic Games and all this that I hadn't been on. And I was outside the stadium crying to my husband at the time, saying like, just what you want in a reporter, right? Sobbing, makeup streaming, minutes before you go on. And he did the old, like, what's the worst that can happen? People love to ask that question.
What did you say?
I was like, okay, you ready? The worst that could could is not only would I be so bad on air that I'll never be on air again, but I could lose my producing job, because who's going to listen to me after they see I can't do their job? And if I could lose my entire career at that case, and if I lose my entire career, you're not going to want to be married to me anymore, because I'll be miserable and won't be able to be a good mother to our kids who are not yet born.
Wow.
And I could die destitute and alone. That's what could happen.
I feel like he was not expecting that answer.
Exactly. But when you catastrophize it, you're like, okay, that's ridiculous. That's not going to happen, and you're not going to win an Emmy the first time. So I feel like I encourage people to catastrophize it all the way to the end, and you'll see how ridiculous some of your fears can be.
Okay, so that actually helped get you through that first time.
Yes, and it was terrible. Everything I thought, I was awful, I was judged, I was embarrassed, but I did it. The win in Audacity is in the action, not in the outcome. The fact that I did it. And you know, I got up the next week and did it again, and I always say the only thing that was better about the second time was that it wasn't the first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still terrible.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of repeating that action just like a muscle, and that's how you create the audacious identity.
Wow.
And you go from like, what is Chelsea doing, to like, that's Chelsea. She swings for the fences.
This is true. This is true. When I was reporter for the first time on air, I was shaking.
Of course.
I was literally shaking and just had to keep doing it, keep showing up. Oh, that is good stuff. All right, what's another barrier we got to get over, Ann?
Money, you got to think about money in a bunch of different ways because we all have vastly different money stories.
Okay.
So the first thing I do is I take you through discovering your money story, which will always go back to your childhood and what you saw growing up. And then it's about thinking of money in the present as an exchange for energy. Can you take some things that you really don't enjoy doing that take up time and send them out and have somebody else do them in exchange for money so that you buy back some time? And it could be anything. I mean, it could be cleaning your house, or it could be doing expense reports, or whatever it is, so you can buy back some time, because we want to say, I'll start the business when I have all the money.
Right.
But there's things you can do before you start the business to start getting yourself set up that don't cost money. Finding mentors, finding leaders, creating your front row, which is a huge concept in the book.
Okay, what is that?
Your front row is a group of people who are going to push you, hold you accountable. They're doing big things on their own. They're going to lift you up. Here's the key, though. It's probably not your mom. And it's probably not your bestie, because they want you to be safe.
Okay.
And your front row needs to be people who are encouraging you to swing for the fences, knowing that they're going to help you, catch you if things aren't working out.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting idea, because you think the people who are going to help get you to the next level are the people closest to you. But yeah, you're right.
Well, they probably have their own fears. Nobody wants to see their best friend get hurt.
Right.
Or their daughter get hurt. And so, you know, they have their place. Don't get me wrong, but your front row, the people are saying, hey, here's the big thing I'm trying to do, and here's what I'm doing about it.
Oh, man. Okay. Such great gems you're giving us right now. People got to definitely get into this book. I do want to go back to the money thing, because I know that's a huge barrier for people.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if they are spending so much of their time doing something that they don't like or they don't enjoy, but they are doing it for the money. So is it a matter of still being able to carve out that time? Because there are bills to pay. You still got to pay those bills. So is it a matter of like prioritizing those important things still?
Right. I'm not saying get rid of the things that are bringing you in money. I'm saying the other things that aren't earning you money, that are taking up your time, that you don't enjoy doing. And it can be as simple as cleaning your house, or some bookkeeping, or whatever it is that is small. I'm not asking you, and don't give up a paying job while you're trying to build this life. Although if you need to make some tweaks to your job, like I did in moving to California so that my days and nights were more enjoyable, do that. Audacity can fit not just professional. Maybe you're leaving an unhealthy relationship. You need a front row for that. Too.
Yes.
And there are things you need to do, including figuring out money in your own personal story.
Who might be your front row if you are in a relationship that you need to get out of?
Well, so I'm divorced. I'm very good friends with my ex-husband, so I'm not bashing him, but I have a certain group of front row friends who I went to because I had a lot of shame. I couldn't make the marriage work, and so who am I going to talk to about that? So being able to tell them, if you're in an unhealthy relationship, which was not my case, you need a front row who's going to get you the heck out of there, who's going to go get your stuff, who's going to set you up safely. Your front row could be people, in that case, who aren't necessarily your friends, but who have the resources to get you what you need to be safe somewhere else.
Ooh, such good stuff. You are changing our lives over here. Okay, give us a little bit about that. You have the front row, but you also have to, I guess, do something with that inner critic.
Yeah.
So is it the job of the front row to help you get that inner critic in line, or how do you do that?
Yeah, you got to do it yourself.
Okay.
And one of the tools I give you in the book is separating it from yourself. Here's the easy example. I have a young daughter, she's 12 years old. Picked her up from school one day, normal day, and I was like, hey honey, how was school? And she's like, well, I'm stupid. I can't do math, and oh, by the way, I'm fat.
What?
And I was like, okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Let's go figure it out. And so we started with like, would you say that to your friends? Would you say that to me? It's a standard question, and of course she wouldn't. And her name is Lena. And so I said, okay, well, if Lena wouldn't say it to her friends, then Lena's not saying it to herself. So let's give a name to that critic so we can separate it from ourselves. This works for adults as well because she named it Jerry, okay?
Okay, oh, we can't stand Jerry.
Yeah, we can't stand Jerry, and so I'll still be in my house, I'll hear her at the kitchen counter, and she'll be like, oh, I can't do this. And I'll be like, shut up, Jerry, because she said that's what she wanted to say. I said, what would you say to him? So, and it just kind of snaps you out. So first of all, name your inner critic, explore it for truth. Is there really truth in what it's saying? You're not good enough. Well, how do we know that?
Right.
You know? And so once you start getting curious about your inner critic and your fear and what is stopping you, you remove emotion from it. And here's what I always say, Chelsea. Look, fear is going to be with you your entire life. Okay?
It does not go away.
It's part of the process.
Yeah.
So rather than pushing it away and using all that energy and all that, conquer your fears, that's not going to happen. I say make friends with fear. Bring it in, examine it, and understand that it's going to be with you, but it does not get to make decisions for you. And it's the same thing for your inner critic. Your inner critic can say whatever it wants, you can explore it, but it's not the decision maker.
Okay. Ooh, too good. You guys have got to explore this book, Cultivating Audacity. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, gotta have you back, bestie. Okay. We'll be back after this with a little one-on-one pickleball tournament with my work bestie, Jenn. Shut up, Jerry. We'll be back. Okay, Jenn, you know, pickleball is really taking over. We're seeing all sorts of places pop up where you can play, right?
It's a whole thing.
Yes,
Chelsea.
a whole thing.
Whole thing, bestie.
And so we had to check out a new place.
We did.
Called Casa Pickle.
We did.
And, you know, learn the sport.
Absolutely.
Let's see how it went.
Pickleball's been around since 1965, started in Washington State. It's a really easy sport to go from not knowing anything to having the ability to play for hours with your friends. It's fairly simple. You've got a paddle and you've got a ball that is essentially a wiffle ball. You've got a team element, you've got a skill element, you've got the competition, you've got the physical aspect, and all of those get brought together in a simple sport that you can learn quickly. You can walk in the door not ever having played, and we can have somebody teach you how to do it.
Hey, Austin.
Hi, welcome to Pickleball.
Hi.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
All right, you ready to learn?
Yeah. Okay, so what do we need to know?
Okay, well, this is called the kitchen, and unlike life, we don't want to be in the kitchen in pickleball.
Oh,
It gets hot in there, huh?
okay. I actually don't like being in the kitchen that much anyway. So. What's the point rating? How does that work?
You only score when your team's serving it.
Okay.
And you keep serving it if you won the point. If you served it and your team loses the point, it's now someone else's turn to serve.
Okay, all right, we can do that.
Yeah. All right, let's get y'all dinking.
What is dinking?
What is dinking? Very good question. It's when we're behind this kitchen line and we hit very soft shots so they don't smash it at us.
Oh, well, let's dink then.
Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Cheers.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna stand a couple inches away from the kitchen line. You're going to have a wide stance. For a forehand, you're gonna have it right of your right leg. Let's go to that. A little bend to your arm, and you're gonna do a little toss. Not too fast, because you're gonna pop it up. No siree. We're gonna move on to the backhand. Y'all ready? You're going to move your shoulder forward, and you're gonna finish where you want the ball to go. Follow my pace here.
Okay.
You're too fast. Slower, and a little bend.
Excited.
Yeah!
Intense.
A little softer. Oh!
Ooh.
Great shots!
Ooh.
Oh, you're in the kitchen!
Oh, it's in the kitchen. It's hot in there. It's hot in there. No.
There's a lot more to it, but at the end of the day, you just need to get out here and play some. It's super fun.
Okay. All right. Well, you ready to have some fun, Jen?
Let's go. Toe to toe.
Head to head.
Pickle to pickle.
Whiffle to whiffle.
Let's do it.
Okay, Jen. Don't hold back.
Girl, you can't handle this heat.
Woo. Woo. catch my breath.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do that.
I'm new to this.
Okay.
I'm not true to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Yeah, but you got it. You got it.
For
You
the
got
win.
it. You got it.
For the win. I have to say congratulations, bestie, on your win.
Well, tried my best and did my best.
I feel like I was playing against several people at one point.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's multiple personalities come out when you're playing pickleball. Really,
Yes.
it really was so much fun. So.
Absolutely.
Yes,
One of your
yes.
personalities is now a champion.
Oh, well, thank you.
I also hear it's like a good place to find a date, too, getting into pickleball.
I've been hearing there's some good places to go out there and do your thing and maybe get a ring on your finger.
Okay, we never know. You'll have a ring or are you playing?
Never know.
While you're dinking.
Right? It's better than going to the bar. You dinking, I like that.
Dinking.
Yeah, that was one of the phrases we used.
Something else we learned. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the young people are into it now, too.
I mean, Chelsea, I was really intimidated going in. It was so many older people that were really into pickleball.
Really
when I walked in, I was like, wait a minute. We doing this?
Yeah.
Is this intense? It's, all ages. So that was nice to see.
It was a good time.
Yes, absolutely.
I would not mind doing it again.
Let's go.
Maybe next
make
time.
a date.
Yeah.
And then we'll find a
We'll
date.
find the date. Yeah, there we go.
That's
Take
right.
a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Come back to me.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of Chatting with Chelsea. I hope that you picked up some pickleball skills and maybe a little audacity along the way. Keep up with us on social at Chelsea Show Fox. Wardrobe provided by Trezor Cache Boutique. We'll see you on the next Chatting with Chelsea.